Yes. Right.
Hello, everyone. We will wait some minutes more, okay, just to check if someone else joined the session. Okay, we start
Okay.
in 5 minutes. So let's start the session. If
Okay.
someone else join us, they can join when they want.
Okay.
So I hope everyone can hear me properly. If not, please send us a message on the chat. Um, I'm already sharing my screen, and if you don't can see it, please also inform me. So once again, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Uh, First of all, thank you to invest your time to participate on Chemitek Solar webinar today in collaboration with our Philippine partner, Kenshua, from Monteoro Chemical Corporation. So hi, Ken. Hope you are
Hello,
fine, and
Tiago. We're
thank you
good.
to be here with us.
Yes, we're good.
So feel free to take the floor whenever you find it appropriate to share your experience with the products and talk about the cleaning sector in the Philippines. Okay.
Okay.
Also very good to see here some of our partners from other countries like John. Um, During the session, if you have any question, please be free to write them on the chat. I will try to answer them during the session. If not, at the end, we will have a Q&A. So if you have any further question, you can raise your hand and I will try to unmute your microphone to give you the floor. So um, today's topic it's extremely relevant, and the question is what happens after the installation? Because in solar, the real challenge is not building the plants, but it's maintaining the performance over time. So let's take a look on the content of the webinar. This is the content about what we will be talking during the session. And let's start with the first one. So the first one, PV cleaning limitation and guidelines from the top manufacturers. What we want to show you here is something very important. This is not Chemitek opinion. This is what top PV manufacturers expect when it comes to cleaning. When we talk about cleaning in solar, we are not operating in isolation. Everything must be aligned with manufacturer requirements and validated by independent laboratories, um, because in solar, it's not about what we claim, it's about what it's proven. That's why our solution are validated by entities like TUV Sud and CVR. So TUV Sud, as probably uh, everyone knows, it's the German lab that also test and certify all the PV panels. And the tests carried out and the results obtained speak from themselves when it comes to our products. First of all the products are biodegradable and eco-friendly and safe. Secondly, they cause zero harm to the model materials, including glass, aluminum, silicon, air coating, and other components. They don't interfere with the light transmission because even a small change can directly impact on energy production. And beyond that, and no impact on the performance, no impact on the lifetime of the anti-reflective coating, the IRC. This is critical because damage is not always visible, but it affects long-term performance. And finally, all the products are also compatible with the cleaning methods and equipment like manual brush, rotary brush, robots, and all the kind of equipment you can use and appropriate for solar, of course. Um, Now, when we look at actual cleaning practice, manufacturers typically recommend using approved and eco-friendly products, using soft water to avoid that when the panels dry, the appearance of stains. Cleaning at the right time of the day. Normally, they recommend to do the cleaning on the beginning or end of the day when the modules are not so hot and the temperature outside also. And most important, avoid the use of scrapers or high pressure machines, because if not, we can damage the modules. But here is the key point. Following guidelines is not enough. You also need to use the right solution for the specific contamination. And this is exactly where Chemitek comes in. We develop our solutions to meet these requirements and to solve real contamination problem in the field. As I said on the beginning, Chemitek doesn't define the rules, we align with them. So let's look at what actually happens when solar plants are not properly cleaned. When contamination accumulates unevenly, it creates hotspots, what we can see here on this image. And hotspots are not just inefficiency, they are thermal stress points and can permanently damage the module. Over the time, contamination also accelerates, causing silicon degradation, aluminum oxidation, which can lead to water infiltration. And very importantly, the anti-reflective coating starts to degrade faster. And once that happens, performance can't be fully recovered. So it's very important to clean the solar panels to avoid all these kind of problems, because they can also cause other damage like fires, broke the glass. So it's why it's very important to pay attention to the cleaning. Now, all of this leads to something very simple. And what are the results? Substantial financial loss, what normally the owner wants to avoid, because when they invest in a solar plant, and we are talking about a big volume of money, they want to have a recover of the investment faster, if possible. So they want to avoid a substantial financial loss. They also, this can cause a reduced module lifespan and extended the time of the return of the investment. So the real risk is not what you see today, it's what you don't see happening over the time. So what starts as a small loss can, with the time, become a long-term problem. So we have here some some examples of critical loss. So the solar assets don't fail suddenly, they degrade silently, as we normally say. Most performance loss don't come from major failures, they come from soiling. So we have here some examples of these problems. We have the cement dust, one of the most aggressive contaminants that we can find. Normally, the percentage of loss is bigger than 40%. We have the bird droppings, probably this will be the most common problem that you can find on solar plants. We have the fungi, also the metal oxide, another major problem of contamination for the solar panels. We have the lichens and also paint overspray. As you can see, all of them cause a significant percentage of loss on the performance of the solar plants. So let's go to the second topic, the product range of Chemitek and what makes us different. So our range of products is divided in two. On the first one, we have the soiling mitigation coatings, and on the other one, we have the contaminant removal agents. So let's start with the soiling mitigation coating. We have our Solar Wash Protect. It's a two-in-one. So it's a detergent to remove all the organic contamination like bird dropping, like dust, like sand. And at the same time, it's also an anti-static coating. So um, we have after the anti-static solar armor. It's an anti-static coating. In terms of coating, it's similar to the Solar Wash Protect. The only difference between two, it's the lifespan of the coating. The Solar Wash Protect, the maximum it's 6 months, and for the anti-static solar armor, it's 1 year. Of course, this lifespan will also depend on the type of soiling that the panels are exposed. If we are talking about cement dust or metal oxide, the lifespan of the coating will be reduced because we are talking about aggressive contaminants. We have the Chemitek. This is also an anti-static coating, but for the CSP, for the mirrors. And we have the D-Solar Defender and the IGP, the Industrial Blast Protects. These two are hydrophobic coatings. Normally, we recommend these coatings for countries with long periods of rain or with snow. And to explain in a simple way the difference between an anti-static and an hydrophobic coating, the anti-static coating reduces the buildup of electrical charge on the surface of the panel, helping to prevent dust and particles from being attracted and sticking to it. And the hydrophobic coating repels water, allowing it to run off easily, carrying away dirt and reducing the formation of stains. On the other parts, we have the removal agents. We have the cement removal agent for cement dust, stone dust, limestone. We have the metal oxide removal agent for metal oxide for rust. We have the lichen removal agent for lichens, fungi, but also very effective for grease and oil. The paint removal agent for the paint stains. The water softening agents. So what is the water softening agents? We have developed this product because, as we talked previously, the recommendation for cleaning is to use soft water. So the water softening agent, it's a softener. So the product will be added to the cleaning water and will reduce the hardness of the water. Okay, and what will the product do? It's to capture the ions of aluminum, calcium from the water, reducing the hardness of the water and the ppm. Okay, the use of the product doesn't avoid the use of the filtration system. Okay, because they are two different things. And recently, last year, we have launched the new products, the drone solar cleaning agents, products to be applied by drone, and for remove organic contamination. So now the question, what makes Chemitek solar different? At Chemitek, our approach has always been very clear. We don't adapt generic chemicals to solar. We develop solutions specifically for the PV industry. All our formulations are proprietary and developed specifically for solar application. Because as we've seen, not all contamination behaves the same and not all the solutions are suitable. We have 3 patents in anti-soiling coatings, which reflects our focus not only on cleaning, but also on preventing future contamination. Um, our products are biodegradable, eco-friendly, and across the product life cycle, the environmental impact is not just minimized, it's actually net positive in terms of CO2 balance. In other words, we are not only helping improve solar performance, we are also aligned with the sustainability goals of the industry itself, because performance should never come at the expense of the environmental impacts. And most importantly, and as I already said before, our solutions are tested by independent laboratories like TÜV. This ensures compatibility with the PV modules and safety in real operating condition. And also another important point for Chemitek, we also have letters of conformity from multiple module manufacturers, which is critical because alignments with manufacturers is important for this industry. And our solution are also designed for specific applications like floating solar plants, where the environment and material compatibility is even more critical. For this kind of plants, we have the certificate of ecotoxicity for the solar protects and the water softening agents. I will probably answer to one of the questions we have on the chat right now. So from Dante. So hi Dante, nice to meet you. So we encountered an ammonia leak on one of our projects, which is a cold storage, and it stained the PV modules, making it really hard to remove. Do you have solution for this, or you have encountered some an issue? So ammonia, this is a good question. Ammonia leak. So honestly, I never be confronted with ammonia leak before. What I will propose, Dante, and sorry if I will not reply immediately to your question. If you have any picture that this kind of problem, you can also share with us. But John is here to helping us, and is recommending the leak and removal agent for this problem. It can be, of course, a solution. As I said, it's also a very effective product for grease and oil. So Dante, what I suggest it's when at the end of the webinar, you can contact Ken, and he can probably provide you some samples of leak and removal agents to try to remove this problem on your PV models, okay? And thank you, John, for the help. So to finalize this slide, so when we talk about Chemitek, we are not just talking about the products. Most importantly, we are talking about a complete approach to performance, safety, and long-term asset protection. We don't just clean panels, we protect performance. So here on the next slide, we have the letters of conformity. We have at the moment for the solar range. As you can see, we have 17 from now. Nowadays, we received recently also 2 more, one from again HD Hyundai and Keycell for all the range of products. So we need to update this slide. But as you can see, we have 17 from the solar for the Solar Wash Protect and the anti-static solar armor. 9 for the cement removal agent, so now 11, and we have also uh, others letters of conformity for the rest of the range. As you can see, already Runergy, Longi, GA Solar, and Astro Energy have already approved all the range of the products. Now Keycell and HD Hyundai too. So we are working closely with the manufacturers to have their approval for the use of our products to clean their solar panels. And as I said, this is very important for us. But another thing that I want to talk about that, because it's one question we receive a lot of time, it's will using these products affect the module warranty? And this is a very valid concern, honestly. From the manufacturer perspective, warranties are designed to cover products related defects, not external factors. So in fact, if you look to the warranty documents, you will see that soiling and environmental contamination are typically listed as exclusion for the warranty, which means performance loss caused by aggressive dirts, residues, or external deposits are not covered by the warranty. So in reality, it's the lack of proper cleaning and maintenance over time that puts the warranty at risk. Okay, so not the use of the products. And this is what exactly where Chemitek solution come in. Our role is to provide a safe and tested way to remove the contamination without damaging the modules. So instead of being a risk, the correct cleaning approach is actually a way to protect the asset and preserve the performance within the framework defined by the manufacturers. So the letters of conformity, it's a plus for us because this is a way to show to the clients that the products are approved to clean their solar panels. So on the next slide, we'll see different kind of solings and contaminants and what is the product of our range that we recommend. So on the left table, we have organic soilings like soil, bird droppings, carbon deposits, pollen, beeswax, salt residues, and other organic materials. And as you can see, for all of them, normally we recommend the Solar Protect, but also the leak and removal agent can be an option. Okay, but what we recommend always is first make a test with the Solar Protect, check the results. If the results are good, so use the Solar Protect. If the results are not so good, you can try the leak and removal agent as an option. And recently, as I said, we have launched our drone solar cleaning agent. So the drone solar cleaning agent is also an option for this kind of contaminants. On the other side, we have other types of soilings like grease. And for that, as I said before, we recommend the leak and removal agent or the Solar Protect. The leak and removal agent will be probably more effective than the Solar Protect. For paint over spray, what we recommend is the paint removal agent. Metal dust and rust, the metal oxide. For cement and limestone dust, the cement removal agent. For lichens and fungi, we have the leak and removal agent for that. Bitumen silicon stains are also very difficult contaminants to remove. The paint removal agent can be an option. And for hard water stains, we recommend the cement removal agent. But of course, to avoid the appearance of these stains, what we recommend is to use the water softening agent on the cleaning water to avoid that. So now let's go to one of the most important parts of the webinar, the best practice when using the products, because most of the time when the results are not good, the problem is always the products. So we want to avoid this kind of mindset. So let's talk about some of the best practice to use when you use the products. So here are some of the best practice when you use the product. The first one, it's always to start with the recommended dilution that we have on our user guide and also on the label of the drum of the product. Of course, the dilution need to be adjusted depending on the level of contamination you will find on the solar panels. So the first thing that normally we recommend is to do a small test in a small area of the panels and check what will be the dilution, the appropriate dilution to have good results on the panels. When you don't know, and we will talk after that, what is the source of contamination or the type of soiling, what we recommend is to do test with all the products, normally in pure state, to check what will be the appropriate product for the cleaning. So very important, the panels should be dry before applying the products. If not, when you will be spraying the products to the panels, you will be indirectly increasing the dilution of the products. Panels that are too hot or near freezing will, of course, reduce the efficiency of the products. Use the right crystal stiffness for the job. Make sure to use enough products to cover all the surface of the panel. It's very important, okay, to apply the product in all the area of the panel and to allow the products to be in contact with all the soiling present on the panel, and most importantly, to reach the glass. Products such LRA and PRA need time to act. So after to spray the products, you need to wait for some time before brushing and rinsing. For the CRA and metal oxide, it's not necessary to wait. Okay, so you spray the products and brush immediately. Always thoroughly brush and rinse the panels. Okay, very important. And as we have already talked about, the importance of using soft or demineralized water to avoid stains after drying. Okay. Another point, and it's not mentioned here, and never let the products dry. Okay. So if not, it will lose the efficiency. So if you did everything right and still didn't get the expected results, what we recommend is to contact our local partner to give you some assistance, or if not, you can also contact Chemitek directly, and we will be here to help you, to give you all the technical support that you need to find what can be the good products and, of course, the good procedure to resolve the problem. So here on this slide, we have a troubleshooting. When you, as I said, when you don't know what is the kind of contamination of this or the source of the contamination, what we recommend to do, it's when you go to the site, always take a look on everything and check what can be, try to identify what can be the source of the contamination. If you can identify, the source of contamination, the next question will be which industrial process is coming from. So after that, if it's organic or inorganic, and this will give us a way to go. So if it's organic, normally the most appropriate product will be the Solarus Protect. So we can make a test with the Solarus Protect to check if the results are good. If the results are not good with this or not are not good with the Solarus Protect, so we can also try the leak and removal agent. If the industrial process, it's an inorganic process, so we need to go to the removal agents and make some tests with all the products, with the cement removal agent, with the metal oxide, the lichen, and the paint removal. So as I explained it before, what we recommend is to do some small tests in the small areas of the panels with the products in its pure state and check which product will give us the best results. So now we will talking about the cleaning methods and the products. So what is the correct procedure of the use of the products, to use the products, sorry. So first of all, and after to do the tests, we identify which products will be the appropriate to use, and we will find also what will be the dilution. So after everything, what is the next step? It's to dilute the products in water, spray the products. Depending on the product used, you can brush immediately, or you need to wait some time to the product reacts with the soiling. And the last step is the rinsing. Nevertheless, you can also mix the products in the cleaning water, as you can see here. So we add the Chemitek solar products to the treated water tank. As I said, very important to check the quality of the water. Also, as you can see here, we have the water treatment system, okay? Or we can use a dosing pump. So we will talk about the dosing pump after too. So this is the two ways how to use the products on your cleaning service. Mixing the product directly on the water tank, or using the products with a dosing pump. So here we have the list of the products that Chemitek provides. As you can see, some of them don't require dwell time. So normally all the coatings, we have a question. Let me just stop and I will allow the microphone. So Mikhail, hi. I think I have already.
Hello.
Hello.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I just have a question about the dosing pump, because we got some issues on one of our installation. I got speak with Keisha about this. This is a case with a cement factory. We've bought an petrol unit to apply the CRA on those panels, but the petrol unit doesn't have as much it's just sprayed about the panels, so the higher row of the panels wasn't enough applied of a CRA. Can you just tell me what dosing pump you are using for apply the CRA?
Yes, at the moment, normally we recommend always the dosatron, but at the moment the dosatron doesn't have any specific model for the use of the CRA and also the metal oxide and PRA, because we are talking about products with a low dilution, and dosatron doesn't have any model to use these products with a dosing pump. Nevertheless, what we have and we can recommend, it's some things of one of our partner has developed recently, Kim. He developed a box, and on this box, with this box, they have different nozzles, if you can say like that, to use all the products, inclusive the CRA. What I can do is to share with you after the webinar some information about that, okay? Because the dosatrons, as I said, doesn't have a model to use the cement removal agent and also the metal removal agent, because the dilution of these products are lower than what they have at the moment.
Of course, after the webinar, I can share you our project and so on. Also, I can just tell you that the brush, for example, brush, we are using Qlin
Okay, great.
in our company. The brush method is absolutely innocent. It doesn't make any effects on using CRA, but the contamination on this project is really hard. So we can talk about it after the webinar. So I don't want to talk about this right now, because we can speak about this later. Yeah.
Yes, don't worry. But I saw that John also proposed something on the chat. I will also unmute John, so if he wants to share his experience with us. So John, if you want, you.
Yeah, I mean I think the trick here is that every install is slightly different, and the soiling conditions you're going to face, although they may be similar in their nature, they might be a lot more severe in one place, and you may have something else that's mixed into there. So the part, especially when it comes to making sure that your application time is correct, making sure that the weather is the right weather to be able to do it in. I've had chemicals dry on me before, and it's a nightmare. It makes things really difficult. So choosing the right time to do it. But also little tricks like with CRA, for example, our colleague that just mentioned he was doing one. You only ever do sections at a time. Make sure that you can achieve those sections. If you try and do a large area in one go, it's more than likely that you'll have chemical that will dry up, and also it will be ineffective. Things like with the LRA, a little trick that I learned was for really bad lichen. I mean, really bad lichen, and we all know what that's like. A little bit of a dry pre-scrub. So if you just run even a hand brush and just run over and do it dry, what you'll do is you'll open up the pores of the actual lichen. So then when you spray the actual chemical on, it will have a better result, especially on that more stubborn soiling.
Okay, great.
Tiago,
Do you have?
if
Yes,
you
yes,
can
tell me, Mikhail.
if you can access me the option to send some pictures, I could
If you
just
want,
send
you
them.
can add the pictures on the chat if you want. You have this option.
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
What pictures are you after?
I have no option to add a picture.
No, let me check.
One more thing, guys, as well. The wash box is really fantastic. It is really good, easy to move, portable, and good for the range of products. When it does come to having something like a dosatron or a automatic mixer, when you're dealing with that precise of measurements, especially with the MRA and those sort of chemicals, a pharmaceutical grade, so one that's meant for dosing cows on farms into their feed, so they automatically dose that in, and they're putting very precise, minute measurements of medicine into the actual cow's water that's going through. So that is another solution. However, it is not cheap.
Tiago, can you just send me an email on the chat? Then I send you an email with a picture of this project.
Yes, don't worry, Mikhail. At the end of the webinar, we will contact everyone. Okay. So after you can share with us this project. Okay.
Yeah, sure. It's really hard because we need to use CRA about 3 times, just pure.
Yes, of course. This is something that we hear sometimes, but the big problem it's not the amount of product that you are using; it's the time that the owner of the solar plants waits to do the cleaning. So we have
Yes.
we have received a lot of pictures, and we have already resolved a lot of problems. And sometimes we receive some pictures, and you look to them, and the question you put is, where are the solar panels? Because it's impossible to see them. The level of contamination is so high that it's impossible to see the panel in the picture. And of course, in cement dust, it's very common. And of course, sometimes we need to pass 3 or 4 times and apply 3 or 4 times the products until we can see the solar panels again. I
Yes,
believe John
exactly.
has already have a lot of this experience too. But what it's important at the end, it's we can resolve the problem and recover the performance.
I'm sorry, I need to answer the phone. Of course, let's just continue the webinar and we will talk about this later. Okay?
Okay, don't worry. Yes, we have also a slide to talk about this, about the return of the investments of the
Halo, cześć.
of the product.
Wiesz co? Poczekaj, bo jestem na tym.
So let's continue the webinar, and thank you everyone for the participation. So we was on this slide. So as I said before, some of the products doesn't require dwell time. Almost all of them are the coatings. So the SolarWash Protect, Anti-Static Solar Armor, the Solar Defender, Chemitek, and also the cement removal agent. So also very important to tell you, the anti-static, all the coatings, not because the SolarWash Protect it's also a coating, but the other ones are mixed on the cleaning water, and you will be applying the coating at the same time that you are cleaning, and you don't need to rinse after that. Okay, So with only one pass, you are cleaning and applying the coating. The Solar Wash Protect, you need to rinse because it will create foam when you brush it. So you need to rinse after to remove the excess of product and also the soiling. And some of the other products requires dwell time, leak and removal agent, metal oxide. It's also a product that require dwell time in some case, and in others no. So it depends of each project and also on the type of soiling. The water softening agent, we have here a dwell time of 20 minutes if the product is added to the cleaning water. If you use the water softening agent with a dosing pump and a mixer, this dwell time doesn't exist anymore because it will be mixed instantly. The drone solar cleaning agent also require a dwell time of 5 minutes. So you spray the product on the solar panels, wait for 5 minutes before to rinsing. On this one, you don't have the mechanical action of brushing. You just spray the products and rinse. And as we can see here, also all the products can be used with different kind of equipments and tools: manual brush, rotary brush, robots, and brush on tractor. So in many cases, cleaning is done using only water or non-specific chemicals, and this creates two problems: ineffective cleaning, potential damage to the models. So here we have some case of the use of our products. On this one, the client is using the Solar Wash Protect. On the first video, as you can see, is spraying the products manually with a sprayer. After on the second video, can see is brushing the products without water. Okay, very important, brushing the product without water. And at the end, the last step is rinsing with the brush to remove the excess of products and also the soiling from the panel. Here we have another example of the use of the product of the Solar Wash Protect, with a rotary brush. As you can see on the first video, is spraying also the product manually on the panel, and after brushing without water. And the last step will be rinsing to remove the excess of products and the soiling. On this one, the product was directly mixed on the cleaning water, and here is applying the products with the brush. Okay, is applying the product with the brush. He will brush after without water, and at the end, he will rinse the solar panels. Here we have some case with the use of a robot. On the first one, the technical guy spray the products manually first. Okay, and as John said before, it's very important, and of course, depending on the kind of soiling that you are facing, do it in small areas of the of panels. Okay, so small number of panels to avoid that the products dry. As I said before, it's one of the main goals and most important thing. Never let the products dry. If not, they will lose their efficiency. So here, on this case, the product was spraying manually and is using the robot, the front brush of the robot to brush without water, also very important, and rinse with the back brush. On this one, the product was mixed directly on the cleaning water tube, is applying the product with the robot and on the first pass, and on the second pass he will brush and rinse. Also, as I say, the SolarWash Protect, it's a 2-in-1. Normally the standard dilution of the products, it's 1 kilo of product for 50 liters of water. Normally with 1 kilo of product you can clean approximately 500 meter squares of panels. But when you are using a robot, you can increase the dilution of the product to 1 kilo of product for 150 liters of water, and you keep also the anti-static effects. But if you want to avoid a second pass, or you want to avoid the rinsing parts, you can increase the dilution of the product until 1 kilo of product to 300 liters of water or 500 liters of water. But you need to have in consideration that when you do that, you will lose the anti-static effect of the product. Okay, so the product will only be a detergent to clean the organic contamination, but it will not give to the panels the anti-static effects. Okay, so this is what happening here. So the product was mixed to the cleaning water, and to avoid the second pass of the robot. Here we have some case with cement dust. Okay, as you can see, when the product is being applying, and the product will react immediately with the soiling, creating a white foam, as you can see here and here. So when the product is applied, a white foam is created. Okay, this means that the product it's reacting with the soiling. So spray the product manually or with the brush, and after brush without water. Very important. Brush without water to avoid to increase the dilution and to reduce the effectiveness of the products. And at the end, yes, rinse the products, the excess of products and the soiling from the solar panels. Here we have also 2 cases with the use of the robots. On the first one is applying the products manually, and we can also see the white foam being created. After, he will use the robot to brush the products without water again, and it will be necessary to make a second pass to brush and rinse. On this one, the product is being applied by the robot. As you can see on this video, the technical guy make an adjustment on the robot. He's using 2 hoses, one of them to apply the product and the other one after to use the water. But now the robot is applying the products on the panel, and it will be necessary to make a second pass to brush and rinse. You can see here the adaptation made by the technical guy. Here we have some case of leak and removal agent. It can be a very difficult soiling to remove from the panels. So the first step is to apply the product on the panels. After that, you will see that the color of the lichens will change. They will become green. But after some time, you can remove the lichens with your fingers. So after applying and waiting, what you need to do is to brush and resync. And as you can see, at the end, the panels looks like new again. Here it's another one with lichens. This one was already cleaned, and you can see the difference between both strings, one cleaned and the other ones not cleaned. Here is another case of the application of the lichen removal agent on a fungi contamination. As you can see here before, the panels was very encrusted with fungi. We spray the product on the panels, let the product react for some time with the soiling, and after that you can see how easy it's to remove the contamination even with your fingers. So after 2/8, next step it's also brush and resync to have the panels like new again. Here we have a case for the metal oxide. Very important, as you can see here on the first video, is passing his hand on the panels and it's impossible to remove the soiling. So we spray the product on the panel. Sometimes when you use the metal oxide removal agent, the white foam can also be created, but it's not in all the case. Nor on the cement removal agent, normally it will happen in all the case. On the metal oxide, no, it can happen or not. But as you can see on the third video, after the application of the product, it's already possible to remove the soiling with your hands, sorry. So after that, we use a robot or a brush to make the job, to brush and resync. So let's talk a little bit about the dosing pumps. We have already talked about, but here we have a slide to talk about it. So what we recommend normally it's the dosatron. They have different kind of models, and as I said, unfortunately they don't have yet a model to use the cement removal agent, the metal oxide, and the paint removal agent, because these products, the dilution of these products are too low. But you can already find models to use the Solarwash Protect, the anti-static solar armor, the desolar, the water softening agent, and also the lichen removal agent. So what we recommend is to install the dosing pump after the treated water tank and the water pump. Okay. After that, you install your dosing pump and you connect to your drum. We can also share after more information about that. So let's go to the last slide, and the most important, I believe, it's the return of the investment. We have here some examples, and it's important to talk about, because of course when you talk about cleaning, probably most of the people will think only about the static parts. Okay, so the panels will look like cleaned, shine, but the most important part when you talk with the owners of the PV plants, it's of course to present and talk about numbers. And we have here two examples of the use of the products. One of them, it's in a 10 megawatt solar plant contaminated with the cement dust, and where the CRA was used. So the performance loss calculate was 40%, and this was representing 720,000 euros of loss, annual loss. It's a big volume of money. So to do the job, we calculate the quantity of CRA needed to do the job. The quantity, the cost of this quantity was 30,000 euros. The labor costs estimate was 75. So this represents a total of 105,000 euros to do the job. So after to do the job, we recover the 40% of loss that the plant was losing in terms of performance. So this represented a gain of 615,000 euros. So removing the costs of the cleaning and the products, this is a return of the investment lower than 2 months. So lower than after 2 months, it's all that the solar plant will be producing will be again to the pocket of the owner. So it's very important when you have this kind of problems. And Mikael said before he needed to apply 3 times the cement removal agent to remove the soiling and in its pure states. Yes, of course, this will require an investment to do the cleaning, but don't be afraid, because you will give to the owner more than that, honestly. So it's very important when the owner is looking to the product as a cost. Explain to him it's not a cost, it's an investment with a fast return of the investment. Okay. And the other example that we have here, it's in a 100 megawatt solar plant. The plant was protected with one of the anti-static coatings, on this case, the anti-static solar armor. And this protection allowed the owner to have 3% more of gains with the application of the coating. So the additional gains per year was 270,000 euros. The cost of the application was 12,000 euros. The anti-static solar armor, as I said before, has a lifespan of 1 year, so you just need to apply it once per year, of course, depending on the type of soiling present on the solar plants. But on the big farms, utility scales, normally the most common soiling, it's dust or sand. So it's easy soiling to remove. So on this case, normally the lifespan of the coating will be 1 year. So you just need to apply it once per year. So as you can see, the return of the investment was also very, very fast. So to finalize, I want to present you the last range of products we have launched at the end of last year. So this is the products for drone application. After to launch our drone solar cleaning agent, we decide to develop other products for other type of cleanings, for facades, glass, roof, And we have now different products. We have drone glass cleaning agent for glass facades, drone surface cleaning agent for organic contamination, another one for the inorganic contamination that you can find on the facades and on the roofs or glass too. We have here a spray and leave, our drone stain breaker. So also to organic contamination for this kind of green and black stains that you can find on the facades. So you apply the product and leave the product act. The big difference between the others, it's normally the results of this one are not immediately. Okay, so you need to wait some weeks or sometimes months to see the results of the application of the products. We have also a leave and spray and a spray and leave hydrophobic coating for porous surface, and we have a degreaser, cleaner and degreaser for the wind turbine. So now let's go to the last part of the webinar, the Q&A. I will take a look on the chat if some of the question was not replied, or if you have another question, please be free to put it. Okay. So let's see on the chat if any question. So John has already replied to all the question almost, just one. Thank you, John, again. So last one was from Solar Rizal. This common question from our client: how long will it last for Solar Protect to coat the panel? So as I say during the webinar, it will depend on the type of soiling, okay, where the Solar Protect it's applied. When it's organic soiling, normally the time of protection of the solar protect will be 6 months, okay? But for others contaminants, more aggressive contaminants like cement dust or metal oxide, the lifespan of the solar protect will be lower, normally 3 or 4 months of protection on this kind of contaminations. I don't know if someone else have a question. If not, I want also to share an interesting video just to show you the advantage to use the coatings in aggressive contaminants. But let's see if someone else have a question. Or Ken, I don't know if you want to say something also or add something to the presentation. I probably forgot.
There was another question about ashfall. Ashfall on panels.
Okay, ashfall. Yes, ashfall. I think we already have a problem like that, and I think we have a case study also that we can also probably share after my email on this type of problems. What you can use, it's the Solar Protect, okay, for ashfall.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
So if anyone have other questions, let me just show you this video. It's a test done by our partner in Turkey. So they made a test, of course, because sometimes the end customer wants to test the products and check the advantage to use the products. It was on a solar plant close to a cement factory. So our partner used the cement removal agents to remove the cement dust first, and after they applied the anti-static solar armor to protect the panels, and they came back 2 months after to check the difference between the panels cleaned with our products and the other ones cleaned only with water. So let me just find the video to share. Okay, the video is here. I will show my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. So, as I said, so this was a test made in Turkey in a solar plant close to a cement factory. As you can see, the panels were very contaminated with a cement layer. On this string, they have cleaned part of the panels with water and the other parts with our products. So the top of the string was cleaned with water and the bottom was cleaned with the cement removal agent, and after they applied the anti-static solar armor. We can already see the difference between the panels. So the top of the panels of the string, the panels are more white. So this means already that the soldering is more encrusted on the glass of the panel. But let's see the big difference when he will pass his hand on the panels. And as I said, this is 2 months after the cleaning. Let me just go on a little bit. So now he will pass his hand on the panels cleaned with our products. So as you can see, he's passing his hand on the panels and he can easily remove the soldering from the panels. Now he's passing his hand on the panels cleaned only with water, and it's impossible to remove the soldering because the soldering is already encrusted on the glass. So this is one of the biggest advantage to use our products, Chemitek products, because as I said during the webinar, the use of our products means less cleaning frequency, lower operation and maintenance costs, and most importantly, higher performance over the time. What we propose is to you to clean effectively your panels and reduce the resoiling on the panels. So to finalize, thank you again to participate on this webinar. And if I leave you with one idea today, it will be this: cleaning is not a cost, it's a performance strategy. And the difference between the two is how you approach it. So thank you again, everyone, to invest your time to be here. And as I said, we will contact you, all of you, after the webinar. And anything you need, we are always open to help you and give you all the technical support that you need. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ken, once again. We can't hear you now.
Hello. Thank you, Tiago, for the
Yes.
presentation and everyone who joined us today. And so hope you all clean well with the Chemitek products.
So yes, we will try to share all the information that we passed during the webinar, the presentation, documents, and also this last video I shared. Okay. So once again, thank you, and we keep in touch. Bye,
Keep
everyone.
in touch. Bye. Bye, Tiago.
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
John.